So we will.
Welcome to the second in a series of live broadcasts between Santa Clara University's Solar Decathlon team and Plaza Vista School in Irvine. During this partnership, leading up to the October open house competition at the Great Park in Irvine, students and all of you watching will connect with the SCU team and their advisors on a monthly basis. We'd like to first, Brian, before you get started, and hopefully you can repeat those that information of how to contact you, but we first wanted to give a quick shout out to some of the classes that are watching, to Mr. Bedley's class out there in Riverside, California, at Wildemar Elementary, Mrs. Thomas Valens' class, Dr. Green's Cal State Fullerton teaching students, Mr. Nakano's class, Mrs. Newman's 5th grade class out in Tennessee, 4th and 5th graders here at Plaza Vista, and any other classrooms out there. We're really excited that you're here to watch us. Brian, Nicole, Brittany, and we're glad to connect with you again too.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so Brittany is off camera. Right here we have Maggie, who's the head of our electrical team. She'll be introducing herself and talk about the electrical system a little bit later. So here's a brief overview of what we're going to talk about. We're going to update you guys about our project, where we are in terms of construction of our house and everything. Then we're going to talk about our electrical system, how a solar panel works, and all that stuff. Then we're going to take you on a quick tour of the mechanical room of the refract house. So refract house is the one that we showed you guys last time we did a tour of, but we didn't show you the most awesome room in the house, which is the mechanical room. So we'll be going out there and showing you that. And then we've got a quick quiz for you guys that are watching out there. And then we will wrap everything up.
Brian, I also wanted to say that those schools and people watching, if they email you out there, we will invite them to join our next chat on May 23rd at 9 a.m. So any of you out there, classes that are watching, be sure to email the Santa Clara University team, get in contact with them, let them know that you're watching, and you could join the chat next time with us.
We're planning on probably raffling off the one spot for the chat for the other classroom who wants to join in.
Perfect. Today we have Mr. Bedley, another Mr. Bedley's class joining us out from Wildemar Elementary, and that's the other class that you're seeing coming in as well.
Yes.
So
our camera keeps cutting out, so if you're not able to see us, hopefully you can still at least see the presentation.
We definitely can.
Okay. We will get started and we will figure out this camera issue while we're talking about the project overview.
All right, so I just want to give you guys all a little update on what we have been doing with our project so far. One of the big things was we had a group of students this past Monday go visit SOS Steel, who's manufacturing our steel for our structural system. They got to go out and see a lot of the manufacturing, so they saw the giant AutoCAD files and what's happening in the steel factory right now as our steel gets ready to be delivered in the next 2 weeks. So that was one really cool thing that we did this week. Another thing is, I don't know how many of you watched the last one, but for the class that is on with us once again, do you guys remember voting on the different tile options? We asked you guys for some input on color. Well, our tile has been ordered. I believe the green that you're seeing is one of the ones that you guys looked at and voted on. So do you guys remember that? So we really do appreciate all the help we get from you, and it's very exciting. But yeah, we had a couple of our team members go out and actually purchase all of the tile. And then another big thing that our team has done over the last couple weeks since we last talked to you was a lot of safety training. So since we are actually building this house ourselves, we have to learn how to use all the power tools and equipment and learn how to be safe while we're on the roof and things like that. So the two pictures you see on the right is a picture of us from our power tool safety training with Hallmark Construction, one of our primary lead sponsors. We learned how to use a lot of the awesome tools that Bosch has provided us with. And the picture on the left where you can see the guys in the yellow harnesses, that was their fall protection safety. So in order to work on the roof or work at any height on our project, they have to go be harnessed in and make sure they're all nice and safe. So they got to go through that. Maggie here is actually one of the other participants who went through the fall protection training. we need your guys' help once again. We're going to allow you to help us make a decision on colors. We are looking at the color that we want to paint, or not paint, but have the side of our house be. So all the outside siding, we've got 3 options for you today. We're going to show you some renders. They are going to be Tahoe Blue, Colonial Red, and Patriot Red. So here comes the first render.
So after we go through all these, we're going to take a vote, so pay attention.
This is the Tahoe Blue. It's a little bluer than you can see in the picture, but that's a nice first option for our house's siding, and this is a very up-to-date render for any of you who've not seen it before. And now we have our Colonial Red, which is a nice deep red that meshes pretty well with the Santa Clara Red. That is option number 2. Keep in mind which one you want to vote for, guys. And Patriot Red, number 3. It is a very bright and vibrant red that would really pop on the runway. So we're going to go ahead and take a vote on which of the 3 colors you guys think would be best. So once again, that is Tahoe Blue, Colonial Red, or Patriot Red. So can I get everybody to raise their hand if they liked the first one, the Tahoe Blue? Anyone?
No one.
No one? All right, so we probably won't have a blue house then.
What about the reds?
Oh, wait, are these some votes for Tahoe Blue? All right, do I see 3? Does that look about right?
It's about 5 or 6.
5, all right.
We have 2 over here.
Okay. Oh, now I see them. I got it. We got 5 for Tahoe Blue. Now what about Colonial Red? So that was the nice deep red. I see some excited hands.
In the back over there.
Yeah.
You have about 3.
3, all right. And now that bright red Patriot Red, how many we got for that?
Almost my whole class voted for that one.
Yeah, same over here. It's overwhelming.
Wow! All right, so we will definitely look into those reds some more. Thank you guys for your input. And if you come down to the runway, you will or the expo, you will definitely see our house in one of these colors, most likely.
And don't forget, you guys, that you are talking to a classroom down in Anaheim Angels, Los Angeles Angels territory. So we do like red down here.
Okay, that's true. All right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is Nicole mentioned all of our construction site and stuff. So we're going to show you guys what our construction site actually looks like, and Nicole will start talking about that.
Yes, so we've had some big, exciting things happen on our construction site. We are all prepped and ready to receive our steel. So we actually had some people go out there and stake out the floor plan of our house. So if you look real close in the picture that you can now see, there is the actual outline perimeter of our house is colored on, it's spray painted onto the ground and staked out with some stakes. So if you were to walk up to the front of our house, you would come up to the front, and that would be standing on the deck, and then you go into the house and through just like you would on our tour. So it was really cool to be able to see how big the house actually is and get a chance to walk around in it. So, but there's some other cool stuff happening out on our construction site. We have built a prototype, which is what you are looking at now. On this, we used it to learn some construction skills in addition to some things about how we want to join our different modules and things like that. And we actually have it fully functioning with its own little solar array sitting on there that you can see. And it was also really important for us to use the prototype to figure out how to use our sun planter beams for our house. So that's what you're seeing now, and we are very excited about it.
And we'll be talking a little bit more about this later. Switch back to the presentation.
I believe we are going to hand the presentation over to Maggie now, right after. So you remember those 10 contests we talked about last time, because it is a decathlon. That means there's 10. And you guys were really good at guessing which, what the little lightning bolt stood for and what the energy balance contest meant. So now our energy expert is our electrical lead, Maggie, right here, and she's going to take it over.
Hi, yeah, so like they said, my name is Maggie, and I'm in charge of all the electrical stuff in the house. And I deal with the energy balance competition. So just to give you an overview of what I do and what my team does, is that we make sure there's enough energy and solar panels to support the house throughout the competition. So we had to do some number crunching and some calculations to make sure we had just the right number of panels. And I'm going to have you guess later how many panels that is. And we also have to make sure that all the lights in your house and all the outlets and all the appliances work. So if you want to plug in your computer to charge it, I'm here to make sure that that's going to work. And then we also connect all the other electrical components in the house. So we start from the solar panels on the roof all the way to the outlets in your wall and everything in between. That's what I'm in charge of. So I don't know if you guys know anything about electricity, but I thought it would be good to just help you understand what it is and what it comes from and how the solar panels produce electricity. So all matter is made out of atoms, and there's little parts in the atoms called protons, neutrons, and electrons, and they all have kind of a different role in the atom. And so electrons can move from one atom to another, and so when they move around and jump around, they create electricity. And so whenever they flow and jump around, we have electricity. And so the solar panels use this to produce energy and electricity. And so how a solar panel works is that when the sun hits the solar panels, the electrons move towards like the top of the panel, and then the protons move towards the bottom. And so there's this difference where there's all these positive or negative little particles on top of the panel, and then lots of positive particles on the bottom of the panel. And so there's a difference between the two, and so when you connect them with wires, they create energy or electricity that flows. And so we use that electricity throughout our house.
This is awesome, Maggie. This is exactly what we're focused on studying right now. So this is really amazing. Thank you.
Good to hear. I'm glad you guys like it. So just a little more detail about how our solar system works on the house. So we start with the sun, of course, which has so much energy. We capture it in the solar panels, and that produces a type of electricity called DC. And so we don't use that in our houses. In your home, we use AC electricity. And so there's a little thing called an inverter, and Brian and Nicole will show you what that looks like in our mechanical room in just a little bit. But that converts the energy from this thing called DC energy to AC energy, which we actually use in our house. And that goes towards all the appliances in your house, like the lights, your refrigerator, your microwave, things like that. And then that goes to what's called the meter, and this is where the power company, for us it's like PG&E, it's like whoever monitors your energy and whoever your parents pay the bill to at the end of the month for your energy. This is how they monitor how much energy you're using and then how much your panels are actually producing. And so there's a balance between the two. And if our panels produce an excess amount of energy, so if we're not using, if all our lights are off for the day and we happen to make more energy with the solar panels than we actually use, then we're going to put energy back into the electrical grid, which means that we're going to be making money. And so here's a picture of our prototype, which you guys saw earlier. And so we set up this little prototype just to figure out how our solar panels are going to work, how efficient they are, and so we could run little experiments and tests on them just to give us a good idea of what it's going to be like in Irvine when we're actually doing the competition. And so in order to figure out how well they're doing, we can have this program online that tells us how much energy they're producing, and those are those numbers you see in the green. And so like at the sunniest part of the day, it's about almost 200 watts. So that's pretty good for us. And so it's exciting just to see like the numbers change throughout the day, because maybe as you guys know that at sunnier parts of the day, these numbers are going to be bigger. It's going to produce more energy. But when it's dark out at night and there's no sun, these numbers will probably be close to 0. And so this graph on the bottom, you guys can tell, shows the energy for the month of March. So this is just how much energy our prototype produced. And the prototype has 6 panels, which isn't a whole lot, but you can still tell that it produced a lot of energy, and the energy definitely fluctuates depending on the weather. So maybe we had like a rainy week in March, and those will be like the shorter little graphs that you see. And then also, just a fun little fact, The program that we use online tells us how many, like, converts the energy we're producing into fun little facts. And so the amount of energy we produce is equal to about planting 7 trees, which, as you guys may know, that's pretty good for the environment. We like our trees. And we also saved about 200 kilograms of CO2, so that's good for our air.
So now we're going to take you on a quick field trip, virtual field trip to our mechanical room. So bear with us while we switch computers over.
All right, can you guys still hear us?
We can.
Awesome.
Okay, time to go on a quick field trip.
We're going to take you back to the refract house like we did last time.
So as you go, we're going to the kitchen again right now. You guys should remember most of this stuff. We've got a refrigerator, everything. Now we're going to go out the back door, which we didn't do last time. Okay, so this room back here, if you want to move back a little bit so you can get an idea of where it is the mechanical room of the house. It's located in the back corner, and in here is where all the electrical systems, actually all the systems in the house come together. This room of the house costs, all the stuff in it is roughly $100,000.
That's a lot of zeros.
Yeah, that's a lot of zeros. It's a very expensive room, and a lot of that is because of all the cool technology that is packed into this very tiny 60 square foot room. So $100,000 for a 60 square foot room. So if you want to move forward, we can show you a few things. Are the 2 inverters. It's a little loud in here. I'm sorry. The 2 inverters that Maggie was talking about. So those take the DC electricity and convert it to AC electricity. The program that she was showing you for all the cool little graphs come from this box right here, which is made by Tigo Energy, and that connects to the internet and the panels up on the roof and gives us all the information. And then over here on this side, we have all the electrical panels that go to all the different circuits in the house and monitor all those as well. And then on the other side of the mechanical room are all the water systems, which we will talk about in a future presentation, not in this one. So if we move outside where it's a little bit quieter, were you guys able to hear all that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions about the mechanical room?
Questions about the mechanical room?
We want to do questions when we get back inside.
Yeah, we're going to move back inside while you guys think of your questions.
But
Okay.
remember the meter that Maggie was talking about earlier?
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and show you the meter on this house. It is hidden a little bit on the side. And in here, I don't know if you guys can see, but if you get up real close, you can see that the little gauge is spinning, quote unquote, backwards or counterclockwise, which means we are currently producing more electricity in the refract house than we are using. And so now we're going to go ahead and head back on in. Want to follow Brian?
Yeah, I will. So back in through the back door. You guys remember the awesome bathroom from last time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then we'll take a brief stop here. The control panel, we talked about this in okay, can you move that one? All right, can you still hear us?
We can hear you. We can't. There we go. You're back up live on video.
Yeah, that just cut out.
Here we go. We have some questions for you.
Okay. So question time. Quick question. What do you guys have?
Is there like a lot of outlets and like stuff?
Can you speak up a little bit more? We were having trouble hearing you.
Is there a lot of outlets and and sometimes you get mixed up with like which one is which.
Do you have an answer to this one?
There are a lot of
I don't know what else did you get mixed up with this. You can leave that up. Sorry.
We're getting a little bit of, Brian, we're getting a little bit of sound feedback. I'm not sure what's happening. But
Yeah. Trying to run multiple computers can sometimes get difficult.
gotcha.
So yeah, we do have a lot of outlets in the house. There's a couple in every room, but they all work, and so it doesn't really matter which outlet we plug into, and they're all pretty nicely labeled, and on our monitoring system, they're labeled on which room they're in, so we know exactly which one's which.
What's the difference between AC current and DC current?
Okay, so DC current is just a little bit easier to use in our homes, and it's what the power companies like us to use. AC energy is a little or DC energy, sorry, we use AC energy in our homes. DC energy is a little different, and it's a little bit harder to work with, but in the end they're just the same thing. They're all electricity, it's just kind of the way the electrons move and how we receive it.
We have a question if we can slip in some.
Go ahead, we got you on.
Okay.
You ready for us?
Yeah.
Okay, and hey, can they turn that main screen off of that slide and put it on them instead?
There should be another one with us on it.
No, we're only seeing the slide of the mechanical room tour.
Okay, we will.
Let me try this again.
You're screen sharing still.
Okay.
That's a technical problem, Mr. Bedley.
Okay. Okay.
So we're just gonna let it be.
Yeah. Well, can you see us now in one of the screens?
Yes, that's.
Okay.
I have a question. How long does it take for all that whole process to happen?
How long does the process happen? It's like a sun hitting until we get the energy.
Oh, so once the sun hits the panel, it's pretty fast actually. It's like instantaneous practically. So as long as there's sunlight, there's going to be energy produced. So the electrons are really, really small, so they move really, really fast.
Okay.
My question is everything that controls like the house's electrical and mechanical stuff in the house in that one mechanical room, or
Pretty much.
That's where all the systems come together. So then, like, there's panels that monitor stuff in all the different rooms, but that's just where all the systems come together and we can get all the information in one spot.
That's kind of like the brain of the house.
Yeah. And in our next presentation, May 23rd, we'll be talking a lot more about the control system of the house and how all those systems actually come together to do what we want it to do.
And you can ask your parents to go show you where that stuff is in your house and where the meter is. I bet they know where it is and they can show you too.
Do you only...
Mr. Bedley, go ahead.
Okay.
I have a question.
Loud. You got to yell, Colin.
I have a question. What was it? Oh yeah. Do all the things have to be like placed in a specific spot, or can they like just be placed anywhere? Like all
The solar panels, you mean?
gadget? No, like the gadgets
mechanical room?
inside the gadgets inside the mechanical room. Do they have to be placed in a specific spot?
So the mechanical room was laid out by students. And yes, a lot of stuff is in specific spots. So I don't know if you noticed, but I showed you the electrical system first, which was all on the right side of the mechanical room, and then all of our water systems are on the left side of the mechanical room. That's in case we have any water leakage or anything, because water and electricity don't mix well. So we have it separated like that. Other than that, in the mechanical room, as long as everything fits, there's not too much worry about where things are placed.
We're going to take one more and then we'll let you continue if that's all right.
Yes, that sounds perfect.
So do you only use the solar energy for electricity, or do you use it for water?
That's a really good question. The things that I deal with, the solar panels, are only for electricity, but there's also things called solar water heaters, and we're going to be using those in the house too, but another person deals with them on the team. But that's when the sun heats up water, And that's like a really efficient way of heating up water. So when you want like a nice cup of tea or something, want some hot water, the sun can do that for us. But I only focus on the solar panels and converting that to electricity.
Okay, we will continue with our presentation now.
All right. So what we were thinking is maybe we'd have each class answer one of the questions for our Google Hangout poll to see what the answers are, and then we will tell you the answers to these first two questions. But the third one, for everybody who's watching it on their own, we're going to wait, and if you guys could all email us or Facebook us or tweet us or however you'd like to contact us with your answers, we will be posting the answer to that on the Hangout page in addition to our social media tomorrow. So why don't we head over to one of the classrooms. How many solar panels do you think we will be using on our 2013 Radiant House?
Mr. Bedley, go ahead.
Us? Okay.
All right, so there's 4 possibilities that you can see, or maybe you saw. 5, 51, 28, or 12 solar panels.
Raise your hand if you think it's 5. Raise your hand if you think it's 51. We have 2 votes for 51. Stick your hand up high now. Don't. 28. Who thinks it's 28? Majority of the class thinks it's 28. Who thinks it's 12? We have about 3 or 4 votes for 12. So most everybody thinks it's C. The second place would be 12, and third place is 51, right? I don't think anybody voted for 5. Okay.
Good job, guys. That was really awesome. You guys are really smart. So we are going to use 28 panels, solar panels for our house. So good job.
All right, question number 2.
Woo! Yeah.
Good job,
guys. Good job.
Question number 2, and this is even related to your own house. What do you think uses the most energy in our house? Is it going to be our heating and cooling system, so to make sure the air is the right temperature? Is it going to be the lights in our house, the refrigerator, or the television?
All right, let's check it out.
Let's see what we got over here.
Is it heating and cooling in the rooms? A few votes.
All right, I see some hands.
Is it the lighting? Quite a few hands in there.
Got some more hands.
Is it the refrigerator?
Oh, that one looks like a winner right now.
1 or 2 on the refrigerator only. And then
sorry, I forgot about the delay.
It's okay. Finally, on the TV, raise your hand if you think the TV uses the most. 1 or 2 on that. Maybe in their homes it does. I don't know.
All right. Well, Maggie, after you've been doing all your energy calculations, which one uses the most power?
The heating and cooling rooms actually use the most energy. So when it's the summer and it's really hot outside and you want to go inside and cool off and make sure your house is nice and cool, it actually takes a lot of energy. So that's what takes up the most energy. But lighting is right behind. So good job, guys.
All right, question number 3. And now remember, we are going to be sharing this answer tomorrow. So make sure you think really, really hard about this one.
Go ask your parents.
How many kilowatt hours do most homes use every day? And just in case you need to know, or for general information, a kilowatt hour is the energy needed to light the light bulb in your bedroom for the whole day.
So go ahead and think about that question, and we will be posting that tomorrow. So we're wrapping up the presentation now. So here's just a fun energy saving tip. Who wants to?
So just a fun little fact. Do you know that your home may have phantoms and vampires? So there's things called phantom loads or energy vampires, and this happens when you leave appliances and electronics plugged in overnight. So if you're charging your computer and you leave it plugged in overnight, but maybe you're not using it, it actually does use a lot of energy. So just remember, like when you're playing your video games or using your cell phone or something, just unplug it before you're done with using it.
And that's the end of our presentation. If you guys, people out there, if you have any questions, Brittany, have we got any questions? No, we haven't. You guys are very quiet group out there. Okay. If you do have any questions, feel free to email us, and we will get back to you.
We do have one or two. We do have one or two questions if you have time.
Yeah, we do. Also, just for the other people, if you could email us, just letting us know that you were on the call or on the video chat, so we can keep numbers.
Yeah.
So now we'll answer questions.
Go ahead, send us an email, or we've got a really easy, simple form set up on our webpage. If you'd fill that out, we'd really appreciate it. Now we're going to turn it back over to the classes and answer any questions they have.
All right, here comes a student with a question.
Out of a scale of 1 through 10 compared to the other year, for making progress, what would you guys rate it as?
Did you catch that? How much? How would you compare the progress this year to progress in the past as far as the overall house build?
Well, up until a couple weeks ago, we'd been moving ahead of the 2009 team, but unfortunately, since we've had a couple delays in our construction schedule, we are now behind because the 2009 team was able to start construction by now, whereas we're still getting ready for it.
On that note, our official groundbreaking ceremony is April 25th. So that is
1 week.
Yeah, 1 week from today, from noon to 2, and we will be live broadcasting the event, hopefully. Pretty sure we're able to. We'll live broadcast that event, and that's our official groundbreaking ceremony, and we'll start construction after that.
Awesome, and people can also follow you at on Twitter at SCU Solar 13, right?
Yes.
Twitter and Facebook. Brian's the best. He keeps everybody updated, so that's a great way to stay involved and keep tabs on us.
Yeah.
Perfect. Here's the next question from Mr. Bedley's class.
All right.
Okay, go Atira.
How much money do you spend on like solar panels versus if you got your electricity from a company?
How much what?
How much money for this?
So solar panels can be kind of expensive. We're going to be spending like about $10,000 on them, and that's just the solar panels alone. And then there's lots of other little parts that go into it that make it kind of expensive. Luckily, all of our solar panels have been donated by Bosch, so we're getting them for free. But like, if your parents want to buy them, they're pretty expensive. We would spend $10,000 on them.
But then after you buy the solar panels, then you don't have to pay any more electricity bills, so it balances out.
All right, next question.
How much solar panel did you use on your refract house?
There's 48 solar panels on the refract house. Yeah.
So yeah, we're using only 28 panels for our next house, the Radiant House. And that's because where you guys live, Irvine, is super sunny in October. But where we had the competition last time was in Washington, D.C. And it's not as sunny there, so we had to use more panels.
Okay, we got one.
Go ahead, Wildemar.
Okay.
What do you do with the house when you're done with it?
What's that?
Yeah.
What do you do with the house when you're done with it after the contest?
The house after the competition will come back to our campus and be hopefully set up somewhere. We're not entirely sure.
That's one of the things we're still working out. In regards to the last question, Brian's actually pulling up a live feed of Refract House so you can see the solar panels. So on the roof, that is what our roof looks like. That is our campus right now.
We're actually sitting in this house right now, right about here.
Yeah, we've got the shade down so you can't see us. So that is the roof, and you can see there all 48 panels in addition to a number of faux panels to make the roof look like one beautiful piece of architecture.
How many watts do your solar panels have to have in order to have like decent lighting in your house?
Also, each of our panels is 255 watts, and we have 28 of them. So that's like 7,140 watts, or 7.14 kilowatts.
Okay, we got one here.
How much
Yell.
How much electricity does the house use a day?
Well, that's going to answer your question. They can't tell you the answer to that. Or their house.
We weren't able to actually hear the question.
You got to scream like you're outside on the playground.
How much electricity does your house use a day?
The question was how much electricity does your house use a day, but I think that gives away a little bit of information for a question. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it does. We'll post the answer to how much our house uses in comparison to the average home tomorrow. Yes.
So be sure to stay tuned.
If the solar panel gets dirty, how would you clean it?
That's a good question.
That's actually something that's really important because if they get dirty, they don't work as well.
So usually what we do on the refract house is we have to get out a hose and a bucket of water, and we get up on a ladder and we just put the water on the panels and squeegee it like you would with your windows, and then we just make sure they're all nice and clean.
And with the energy monitoring software we have, we can tell if the panels do get dirty because we can see those numbers go down. And also we've had it where there's one panel that's just really low, and we go out there and there's like a giant leaf on it. We're like, oh, we should probably move that.
Awesome. We'll take a couple more questions and we'll wrap it up.
Sounds good.
Last one here.
Can a solar panel,
Yell.
like,
Come on.
if you use too much solar panels, can your house overheat and something like explode or something?
No, there's no such thing as too much energy. Extra energy that we use gets sent back to the electrical grid and gets used, like here on campus, it powers other buildings. So we don't store it, so nothing's going to explode or anything.
That was a good question, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because solar panels do get really warm.
Yeah.
About the DC and AC electricity, does the AC use less energy than the DC?
No, they both use the same amount of energy. It's just kind of a different, electricity just kind of looks different.
So it's kind of like if you write in cursive or if you write in print, you're still writing the same word. You're still going to use the same amount of letters.
All right. Well, that kind of wraps it up for today. Is there anything else you guys wanted to add up there at Santa Clara University besides first, I just want to thank you again so much for doing this, and thank Mr. Bedley out in Wildemar for bringing his class in. And
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. We would really like to thank everybody who was on this hangout with us, specifically the two classes who interacted, and everybody else who's out there. We would really, really appreciate it if you could let us know you were watching.
And don't forget, we'll be selecting, the SCU team will be selecting one of you that email or contact them through Twitter or Facebook or however to be part of the live broadcast and hangout on May 23rd. That's Thursday, May 23rd at 9 a.m. So hopefully you'll be able to either join us or be actually in the broadcast with us.
Yes, we're really looking forward to that. And the topic of that one will be the control system, the control system for the house. So all the cool technology that's actually in the house and how it all works.
Give us that email again one more time.
SCUsolar13@gmail.com or any of the social media sites that we have, our website, sc13.scu.edu. Any of those will eventually get to us.
Yeah, in order to contact us on most sites, it is SCUsolar13, so that's really just the key thing to remember. Otherwise, sd13.scu.edu is our web page and website, so that's all the information you need to get a hold of us is on there.
Yeah.
All right. Brian, Nicole, Maggie, and Brittany, I know you're off screen there, but we just want to thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you in May.
Thank you. You guys are awesome.